the title of this video. We bought a house because of Gary's economics.
If you don't know who that is, get to know.
Oh, get to know, yeah. He's going to give you severe existential crisis and impending doom because the middle class is being sucked out from society and we're all going to die.
Yo. What's popping? There she is. Darling, can you move the seat back, please? Thank you. Let's go and have a look at the house.
We're here.
We're here.
Let's go and have a little look, shall we? We drove around and there were some houses up for sale. There was also some houses that are sold, but part of the plot's been open for 6-7 years, hasn't it? We bought a new build. Just in case we hadn't already said that. So we haven't been able to do a site visit yet, but we're
By the way, the height
around.
difference means that
I'm out of the shot when Brooke's on, and Brooke's out of the shot when I'm on.
my arm's literally not long enough. And also there's
People in the house
people
next
in the
to
house
us.
next door, so we're in their kitchen looking at us.
That's the house. We've got a 3-bed detached. It's got 2 parking spaces. It's got a decent sized garden. What you can see there is the garden, and that's the back of the house. It's going to have solar panels.
So that's going to be the kitchen there. And that's the living room over there.
And where else? Oh my god, bro, did you just smell it?
No.
You know, she was again. And yeah, we're being really quiet because there's lots of people. There's people here, but it's really silent, so they're probably going to think, who are these couple of weirdos? You still recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably going to think, who are these couple of weirdos?
Oh, the window's in at the top.
That's part of it.
The
Let's see.
there's another gate over there. I'm wondering how we get over there, so maybe we could see the front of the house.
Let's have a look. Zoom through. Where you're talking?
Like,
Oh, over there.
there's a gate there. Like another one of these.
Yeah. I wanted to not have the garden landscaped with a patio and grass so that I could do the patio myself and sort of landscape the garden how we want it. Because that's sort of like a transition that I want to make in my career from being a ground worker into doing landscaping. So what better way than to demonstrate on your own house as well. Sorry if you can't hear because of the wind, but yeah, that you will see that what's to come. You know, when we get the house and we get the garden and landscaping a new build garden and any problems that we might have, we're going to demonstrate it. But that's our house, and we'll break down everything, costs and stuff like that, and how we save the money for it in another video or later in this one. But we just come to have a little sneak peek and see where it's up to, because we haven't had the walk around yet, and they won't let you walk around it when it's being built, which is weird and a bit suspect, but it is what it is.
Health and safety.
Health and safety. You got anything to say, darling?
Just that the kitchen window's open. Besides that.
They must be cooking eggs, Mum. I have 6 eggs every day, and I cook them in a stinky way, and my mum gets the egg big time.
Babe, look.
What, babe?
The back in the living room, you see the back door?
I can't see through the privacy fence, darling.
It's got like them 2 windows next to the door
Yeah,
as well.
some aeration. Hold on, look.
No, but do you see the difference between the kitchen door and the front room
Yeah,
door?
look, they've got windows and they don't.
Yeah, and that's nice, and there's like a little window open there.
Yeah. Lovely. Oh, there's some lovely there as well.
The garden's actually alright now.
Yeah, it would do lovely, darling.
Should
No
we
chickens
go and
though.
see if we can go over to that side and see if we can see the house head on?
Yeah, do you want to walk
'Cause
around?
it's straight, yeah.
Let's have a walk. Starting YouTube. It's actually harder than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't locked the car, hold on. Let's have a little look. Also, we've got a hot air balloon on Monday, so stay tuned. Darling, they can't see anything either because we're in the shade. Hey, which way do you want to walk?
We want to go round that way.
Yeah. There she is, come. So we walk around the other side my god, there's people in the houses. Nice. Oh, it might be the next one, you know? Just let them know. Well, it turns out that it was actually that fence there that we're trying to get to. We can't get to it. See if you can peep through there. You see anything? It's that one. I can see it. It is that one, darling.
What one?
Look on the camera. It's that.
With the solar panel?
Yeah, with the 2 solar panels.
Ah. So we're back in the car.
And we're off.
Give you guys a little update.
Yeah.
Future plans.
And the title of this video, we bought a house because of Gary's economics.
If you don't know who that is, get to know.
Oh, get to know, yeah. He's going to give you severe existential crisis and impending doom because the middle class is being sucked out from society and we're all going to die. I'm 23. Brooke's also 23 now, aren't you? Oh. And yeah, we're just 2 young people. We've just bought our first house.
As you've just seen.
Which is a new build. We've saved up and saved up and saved up for a long time, and we've gone for the sort of most sensible but sizable option that we could go for, haven't we? We haven't maxed out our expenses, but we haven't gone for the cheapest thing we could have gone, which would be obviously a 1-bed flat.
Yeah. I think that something that doesn't really get spoken about a lot is the additional costs that are involved. A lot of people just think, I've got my 10% deposit, so I've got enough to buy a house. But stamp duty, solicitor fees, mortgage broker fees.
Yeah.
If you're getting a new build, you need to pay well, I don't know about all new builds, but I'm guessing most sort of estates and new build sort of estates, you have to pay a land maintenance charge as well.
Yeah.
So I
think that's fairly common for all estates like that built.
But this does add up to thousands and thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
So
a lot of scamming.
So you need to actually have like a good amount saved.
Yeah, you need your deposit. You've got to pay your solicitor fees, which is going to be like £3,000 or something like that, isn't it? £2 or £3 for us. I mean, we still haven't finished that.
Just over £2,000.
Stamp duty, £3,000.
Which is going to depend. Stamp duty is going to depend on the cost of your house.
Then you're going to have your furnishing payments. So like anything you want to, if you can move, like we're going to really move a lot of stuff from home. We're going to take our own bed. Your bed. Brooke hates my bed. It was broken. You like the mattress, so it's nice.
I love the mattress.
The mattress is comfy. So we take the mattress, bed. Mum's giving us a table. Dad's giving us some like outdoorsy garden furniture. And we've been quite fortunate that because like buying a new build, it's not built yet, so you're going to be like 6-7 months in advance from sort of like buying, and you could slowly, rather than just go down and go wham like thousands of pounds on different shit, we've just been slowly buying it, haven't we? Like over like the period of
which is also really nice when the house isn't ready to move into yet.
Yeah.
And you're looking forward to moving in, but you can't go and look at the house yet. So you can just go and spend your weekends going and buying little bits for the house and kind of looking at things, which is also really nice.
And it's beginning of April now, and they've said that June, July is when we should be moving in. So hopefully in a couple of months.
That's so exciting.
We should be going in, which is really exciting, and it still gives us more time to keep saving now because we're not paying the mortgage yet.
Yeah.
This is another thing that once we've sent the deposit over,
but
your mortgage doesn't start until you move in. So we've still got 6 months to try and save as much as humanly possible, which is what we have been doing.
And also, say your mortgage payment's going to come out on the 1st of the month, but you move in on the 16th. You will pay your first payment on the 16th, and then you'll also have to pay another payment on the 1st. So the first couple, like the first month that you move in, also is going to be quite expensive. So you need to make sure that you have got the money for that. So it's just all these little things, they just add up, don't they?
Yeah.
Which I think is why it's so important that people actually tell you about this, because if you don't do your research and you just go, I've got my 10% deposit, or I've got my 5%,
I can buy a house.
I can buy a house. And we know people that have actually been in that situation.
No, we're quite fortunate that we managed to save up quite a bit, but we've been working since we were 16, so that's now, how many years is that? 7 years, 7 years each. That's 14 years combined. We've been saving, if you think of it like that, and now we've saved up. We saved up a good amount of money.
Which
we?
I think is about right. I think they say that it's 10 to 20 years for someone to save
Yeah.
up a mortgage on their own.
What we'll do, we'll talk about how we did it, like, and different techniques you can do to save. But basically, to save, you just got to be a savage. It means no partying, doesn't it? No clubbing.
Yeah.
You've got to work and work Saturdays. You've got to work as many weekends if you can. If you can be entrepreneurial, try and start something up like a side hustle
Yeah.
and bring in more money that way.
Yeah.
Whilst also working.
I work in the NHS, so I do shift work. So I was doing a lot of nights, a lot of bank holidays, a lot of weekends, which for me gives you double pay.
Yeah.
So things like that, if you're in a similar job where you get different rates,
Yeah.
that can be really helpful because you can kind of do less shifts. If you're just doing the nights or the weekends or the bank holidays, you don't have to do more shifts, but you can still get more money. So that's definitely a top tip that I would recommend.
Same as that, really. I'm a ground worker. And it's just the same again. You're just going to keep working and try and pick up Saturdays and Sundays. And my goal now is I really want to come away from sort of groundworks on major civil stuff and go more into landscaping and trying to start something up for myself, which has also been massively driven by, like, what we were talking about, Gary's Economics, right, which is a big part of this conversation, wasn't it? And just, it's been really eye-opening for us, isn't it? Learning about, like, when it comes to buying a house, you shouldn't just buy a house for the sake of it. You should ask yourself a question, what is a mortgage? So someone's going to loan me 300 odd grand, and who does that belong to? Like, and then it start going down the rabbit hole of money and what is a bank and your bank accounts. Then you start to understand that this
Yeah.
is all sort of a
Yeah.
facade and it's smoke and mirrors and none of it really exists. And it's stuff that
Yeah.
you already know, but when you actually look into it and you sit down, and this is also the amazing thing when you've got like a really great partner who you love and you can talk about these things, it's massive, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, if you can't have these conversations with, like, I get a lot of dudes who have these conversations, but talking about this stuff with a girl who you love and who you're going to spend the rest of your life with is even better, right? Because you're trying to plan this, and it was hard, wasn't it, when we was learning about it and you were actually studying it, and then
It makes you kind of panic a little bit.
and then sent us into like a little bit of a mad headspace, and then we just thought, well, it sort of is what it is, right? Like,
It's inevitable, right?
it's literally,
Yeah.
watch Gary's Economics videos and understand what's going on, and it will be broken down much clearer, which is the reason why we're going to buy a house now, because if what he's saying is true, house prices are going to keep getting more expensive, right? And we're already seeing that where we are in the southeast.
Yeah.
You've got 3-bedroom houses which sold next to my mum and dad's, which were like 500,000, weren't they? It's
Yeah.
like, what world is this
And a
real?
bit more.
And a bit more.
If you can save a little bit longer and save a bit more, then buy somewhere that you think, right, this is going to last.
We're
us,
going
it's
to
got
work. We're going to
space,
work to live here.
and we can stay here, because we could have moved out already if we picked a one-bedroom flat. We could
definitely.
have moved out, but you still have to pay the solicitor fees. You still have to pay the mortgage fees. You still have to pay. Like, if we got a flat, you'd have to pay like your ground rent and
Yeah.
stuff, and so you've still got to pay those fees. And then when you move, you've got to pay those fees all over
Yeah.
again.
So there's so much that goes into it that as a first-time buyer, you're just so clueless to it, aren't you? You're just so
Yeah.
clueless. You've really got
Yeah.
to sit down and learn.
And for us, we also want a emergency fund. If something amazing came up and we were like, oh my god, we want to do this,
Yeah.
that money's there. If for whatever reason, like God forbid, one of us lost our jobs or became ill or something like that, there's money there that
Yeah.
can still pay for us
Yeah.
to live, rather than just spending all of our savings and then being back to zero
Yeah.
with nothing.
But it's hard. Like, we're not gonna lie and say it's not hard. And I understand why people want to do like the van life and live in a van with no mortgage, because it's like, it's quite scary, Like,
Yeah.
and this whole thing, if you don't pay your bills or your mortgage
Yeah.
within 3 months, they can come and take your house. There's a lot to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There's a lot to being tied into one area if you get offered a job over here. There's a lot that goes into making the
Yeah.
decision, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you have to live somewhere, so you need
And
somewhere to live.
I think if anyone's asking, like, oh, well, you're saying all this stuff, so why didn't you decide to rent somewhere instead? it's also something that we thought about and we've
Yeah.
definitely considered. There's loads of pros and cons to both. There's loads of pros to buying a house, there's cons to buying a house, and vice versa with renting. For us, we've seen people quite close to us who rent.
Yeah.
They just throw the rent prices up.
And if it's the case that house prices are likely to go up in price, people that are renting on a buy-to-let mortgage, so they're mortgaged a house and then they're going to put people in there to rent from them because they're trying to be property entrepreneurs, then your mortgage is going to be more expensive, so rent's going to have to go up.
Yeah.
So your rent's going to go up and your mortgage is going to go up.
Yeah.
Basically, this is Gary's whole point, is that this whole drive of property prices is basically squeezing you. And on top of that, you got like water bills going up stupid, like gas, electricity going up stupid. That's another reason why we was quite happy to buy a new build. I know that the new builds, they have an A/B EPC rating, so they hold their heat really well, and they come with solar panels, which is going to help with the electricity. And right now they're not that expensive to add a couple
Yeah.
more, and a battery if you really want to go like full steam and try and make it really energy efficient.
Yeah, because then you can try and store your energy, especially for the winter when you need a lot more electricity and heating, the nights are drawing in, you need your lights on more,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. It all adds up. Yeah, but we've pretty much touched on
Bit of everything.
a bit of everything there. The house, as we say, is due to be ready to move into June, July time. We've done everything that we need to do now. If you want us to go into a little bit more detail, specifically from kind of start to finish, about like getting mortgage in principle and all of those things, then we can do that. But yeah, we're just pretty much just waiting. There's kind of like this period where it goes a bit quiet, I
Yeah,
think.
massive ghost mode. They hound you for your money.
Yeah.
Like, this is specific for new builds. We've never bought a house, so I don't know what it's
Yeah.
like. But they hound you for your money. Yeah, you need to pay us by this date.
I
You
think
need to pay
Mum's
us
had
this.
the same
This,
problem.
yeah, probably. And that's not new build.
Mm.
You need to pay us by this date. We need it. We need this. Oh, you want a kitchen? Oh, we need this payment by this date. We need this payment
we
by
can
this
get it
date.
ordered
Send it all off, and then it's just like flatlines. Nothing for weeks and months, and then they've got these clauses in the contracts, which is like, if you email us asking, we're going to charge you. So you're like, you're in ghost mode. They've
Yeah.
flatlined you with any
Yeah.
contact, and then you think the moment you contact them, they're going to be like, well, here's £100 an hour for us to send this email.
Yeah.
And you think, it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Follow along. We're
Yeah.
two ordinary people. We just bought our first house, and we're young. And if you want more videos on what we think of being two young people, oh, there's a dude there. Being two young people who just bought a house, then subscribe and follow along. What do you reckon?
He's getting a good look in there. Oh, sorry.
Yeah?
Yeah.
End the video?
Sorry, yeah. So stay tuned, follow along.
Do you rock on?
No.
Do it.